It's likely part of your daily commute, but sneaking a peek at the price per gallon sign as you pass every gas station on your way to work or just wherever you're heading out. Or maybe you have access to that, interactive map that will show you the lowest gas prices near you. No matter which way the price moves, though, it's getting people talking. And today we got some good news. AAA Idaho says the average gallon in Idaho is finally below $5. And while we're finally seeing those lower numbers, the Idaho Attorney General's office says profits for Idaho gas station owners, well, they've never been higher. The reason? Wholesale prices, what those companies pay to fill their tanks under the ground, are dropping at a much faster rate than we are seeing at the pump. Accusations of gas station greed are rampant. But is it that simple? Here's Andrew Bartline.
For the first time in more than a month, Idaho drivers can expect to pay $4.99 a gallon. According to AAA Idaho, the state average dropped below $5. However, that's still about 70 cents more than the national average.
Idaho's retail price is almost always in the top 10 for being most expensive. That's not something new.
Idaho Deputy Attorney General Brett DeLange is the Consumer Protection Division Chief. For the last 14 years, the AG's office has tracked the average gas price and the profit margin retail gas stations make per gallon.
What we're seeing indicates that the wholesale price is dropping has dropped fairly substantially, but the retail price hasn't followed.
KTVB received the AG's numbers through a public records request. They show the average Idaho gas station lost nearly 9 cents a gallon the first week of June. But since then, the price of a wholesale gallon has dropped roughly 49 cents.
We have never seen 67 cents before as a statewide margin average. And the average is somewhere between 10 and 20 cents a gallon. What you're seeing now is three times the average.
However, Jackson's gas station CEO John Jackson disagrees.
The 20-cent number that you're been quoted by the AG is total BS.
Jackson says most gas stations typically make 50 cents a gallon, and that's by necessity.
And I would like to see him try to run a business, our business, on 20 cents. He would go broke. I guarantee you, he's crazy. His numbers are ridiculous.
Jackson says his profits were down 57% in June. And while he's making more money at the pump in July, it's the items sold inside the store that keep him profitable.
Would it be true to say that when you buy your gas wholesale, the prices are going down for you, and in return, you are able to slowly lower your price over time as well for the consumer?
Correct. And we're not exactly going down slowly. I mean, I think we're dropping just about every single day.
Do you feel that it's proportional that if the gallons you buy wholesale go down a certain percentage, you are then able to drop your price a certain percentage as well? Is it a very similar proportion?
Yes. This is a very competitive industry. What other business can you think of that has a price sign out on every single site that they operate on? I mean, it's very visible what our price is, where the competition is, and if you're too high, your volume dries up. I mean, it's extremely competitive.
The AG's office and Jackson don't see eye to eye, but they agree margins are even higher outside the gem state.
We're seeing it around the West, but also around the country.
We're cheaper than Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona. We do business in all of those states, and we know what the prices are, and they're significantly lower. And their margins are higher. They are always higher.
While the AG's office says there's nothing they can do today to directly deflate gas prices,
if the market will bear it, they'll probably charge it.
Consumer behavior is half the equation in a free market.
We need to maybe do a little bit better job of shopping around for the lowest price to encourage some price competition.
The last time the AG's office saw profit margins more than 60 cents a gallon, Governor Brad Little issued an emergency declaration in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, that action enacted the state's consumer protection laws, where retailers cannot charge a, quote, excessive price for goods. The AG's office settled for $1.5 million with Maverick, Stinker, and Jackson. So we're no longer in an emergency declaration, Brian, so that's kind of irrelevant. It doesn't play into a role here. But the AG's office has proven in the past, of course, that $1.5 million settlement, that there have been some problems.
It's the story you just showed. I mean, that's a case of he said. Who do we believe in this situation? The gas companies are saying, we're not making record profits. It's costing us more. But then the AG is saying it's never been higher.
Yeah, and I think one of the arguments they gave is, when you buy the gas, you have a huge tank underground.
Right.
Maybe the wholesale price has gone down since. But for right now, that gas you're selling, you bought previously for a totally different price.
Yeah.
So that's part of it too. There's a bit of a delay.
That being said, you also know this, that when the price goes up, on gas that they paid a cheaper price for when the prices start going up. So it's conversely as well.
That was the AG's argument, as they're winning on both sides of this. The gas station says that's not true.
All right, I know what our viewers are going to say, so we'll stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, Andrew.